Good evening, everyone. Sorry for. Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
All right. So let's just continue to this class. So yesterday we were able to look into how we feel like we completed our dashboard yesterday. We replicate this particular dashboard here, and we're able to get this in return. So we look into how to format our dashboard, our shapes, and all that. So from day one to day seven, like I told you, we've been doing it since. We look into um basic importing database normalization, basic visualization. We look into how to create an area chart, how to connect our tables together. We introduce ourselves to DAX, which is data analysis expression. And I also talk about how to use DAX formula to create some sales. So, and I talk about iterative measures, how to use DAX formula to create some sales using iterative measures. So I also talk about basic chart formatting, how to create a donut and column chart, formatting all your charts using the format your visuals tab. So I also introduce you to two tips, and we talk about map, talk about ArcGIS, talk about KPIs cards. I talk about slicers too, and how you can edit your slicer across all your visuals, and you may restrict a particular visual to your slicer. Like if you don't want all the slicer, if you don't want the slicer to touch all your visuals, you may restrict it. So how to create and format KPI cards, we did all this. And the last one was formatting the dashboard, of which we talk about text boxes, shapes, and we also explain our visuals conceptually. So today, as I've mentioned, we are going to be looking at additions in Power BI, and not only Power BI. I'll be walking you through PowerQuery in Excel, PowerPivot in Excel, the advanced DAX, bookmarks in Power BI, themes in Power BI, and how to share your file, your Power BI file. But that said, I would like to introduce each of all these sections because I sectioned them into six. So I would like to introduce you to each of the sections so that you can familiarize yourself to what they actually mean. Like what is the Power Query all about? What is Power Pivot all about? What is advanced tags? So all these things we are going to talk on them in more details. Like I said, without this particular section of today, there is no how you can boastly or you can call yourself a Power BI expert without knowing how to clean your data using Power Query, or how to use the DAX to calculate time intelligence and some other things that ordinarily it is expected for fundamentally for a Power BI, a junior Power BI expert to know about, and also how to bookmark your Power BI in case maybe, for instance, a particular visual has an issue. For instance, now let me go back to our visual. I believe although we were unable to clean up our data very well, but when I was recording this particular class, I noticed that there is blank in 2015. So let's say, for instance, you already have a deadline and you want to tell your audience that oh, there's a black in this thing. There's a way to bookmark your visual to show them that there's particular issues that actually occur when you are trying to do your visual. So that's one of the importance of using bookmarks in your Excel. For instance, if I should click on this blank now, everything will just be blank like that. Nothing will actually make sense towards what we are doing. So, and that's not a good practice. You can see how will you as a Power BI data, like as an analyst, be having this kind of blank here. So it's not something like that is very good. In fact, it's not good at all. So that's one of the reason why I just put this intentionally, just to let you know that it's a good thing for you to always make sure that you clean up your data before doing anything. So cleaning up of data is very, very essential. You have to check into details, like look into it. This thing is this something that so visualization is not the main issue. So you must be very aware of your cleaning of your data and how to perform your data and also themes. I know that many of you are going to agree with me that this particular visual here is very appealing and it's something that actually communicates at a single glance. It's something that you can easily see and you always want to check because of the visuals, the color, the presentation is very okay, the color blending and all those things. So this is I actually use a particular thing, and that thing is what I use for visualizing this dashboard. So if I should select my year here, let's say I select 2014, yeah, you see how everything just changes, and even the this thing here is going to change and everything like that is going to change accordingly. I can filter all the page by this categories here, technology, and I can also drill down if I want to drill down. So many things that we can just do here. You can see once I click on technology. So this is the particular visual that we're going to be working with for this additional class. So it is very comprehensive. I have a lot of this is what they call tree map, this is column chart, this is table, this is timeline. So I have a lot of visuals here that we can play with. In our day one to day seven class, the only visual that we are able to do is just like 4 or 5 of them, which is not really, but these are just basic anyways. So this is for instance, this is called the composition tree. Sorry, this is called a funnel chart, rather a funnel chart. We also have what they call the composition tree, and how do we use them? At what point do you use them? What is the essence of using the funnel? You can't just use any visual for using sake. There must be a reason why you are using that kind of visuals. So you must be able to explain, like even though you don't explain, like your visual must be able to communicate. So this particular visual as well, so they call it it's a waterfall chart.
ìgbà tí mo dẹ̀ sọ fún ọ̀gá mi ò fún mi ní full information báyìí ọ̀kan ní kí n lọ create department.
So we have a waterfall chart. We have a time area chart for timeline. You can also see this is also a line chart. We have our cards here and so many visuals like that that we work to. So what is the essence of this particular visual? And you can see something like sales year on year growth by category in US dollar. So how is the company year? How is the company sales growing per year? So in 2012, what is the price? If I should click on 2012 now, 2012 for instance, the whole visual is going to change. So based on category, how is the company growth? How is the company sales growing yearly? So we can see that in technology we have almost 700,000, and office supply we have 400,000, furniture we have 300,000, this one we have 0.13 million, and like that. So these are examples of things that you can use to just to explain more better, to give insight to your audience what you are trying to explain. So this is like a waterfall. So what is it used for? At what point can you use your waterfall for your visual? So this is also known as funnel charts. At what point can you use your funnel charts for this thing? And other visuals too. These are the things that I'm going to be explaining one by one. So and this is also a ribbon chart. We call this a ribbon chart. If I should click on 2014, you see how everything will just change. You can see it just change. If I should put it at for everything, you can see everything will just change. So these are our top product categories, and this is our sales by segment. And for instance, now this I can filter everything by furniture. You can see I can filter it by office supplies. I can filter by technology. So you can see how everything is just changing. So this is what we call a good visuals. And you notice that as I'm clicking on this, everything is changing. The data here is also changing. So and I can also filter here by consumer, I can filter by corporate, I can select multiple options here. So that's how everything works. And yeah, another thing that we like to explain, which is not on this particular visual, is how to set your how to reset all your visuals to be at default. So let me explain it at this other side here. Yeah, let's say for instance now I click on furniture, click on furniture here, click on jumbo drum. You can see everything has changed, but I want to go back. So I don't just want to be maybe I've even clicked many slides as I've clicked many slides that I don't even know which one again. So I can just easily reset. So by just using this icon, and I just press this icon, you can see if I should over, you see something like reset to default. You can see reset to default. So I just click on it, everything is going to go back to the original position they were before I start slicing them. So these are the things, some of the things that we are going to be looking at today. And like I said, the one what you've learned from day one to day seven is just, just a basic, like a very basic, guys. So it's just very basic, anyways. And you can see this is what we call a gauge chart. So just to know the relative. So each of all these visual has their own importance, and I can filter this particular page by region, SAI pick list, and also customer segment as corporate. So I can also reset this one to default. So everything is going to go back to their normal stage. So these are one of the things that we are going to be looking at. And like I said, we are going to be working with this particular visual here. So be working with this particular visual, and you can also select if like the LinkedIn icon is there. If I should click on it, it's going to take us to my LinkedIn profile page. And let's say I'm starting from this particular first page and I want to move to the next page. So instead of me clicking on this particular page, let's say we have many pages. So instead of me clicking on each of those pages, I can just click on next here, and it's going to take me to the next page instantly. If you should hover around it, you're going to see something like next. So how do you do all these things? So these are one of the things that can make your visuals to be appealing to whoever that is viewing your visuals. I can also go back in time. I can go back to my visual. I can see everything just responding according to the way I want them. So that's actually how to work with um this thing. So like each of all these things that is here, all of them are contained in this particular this thing here. Except PowerQuery, Pivot, everything like majority of what we are seeing here is they are built based on this concept that you are seeing here. They are built based on the concept. And you can see something like how do you publish a file, a Power BI file. So there are many ways to publish it, and one of them is you can either use an online version. So this is my online version. I publish it online, so I can embed it. I can show it out to anybody that I wanted to show it. I'll just create a link for it and send it to anybody that I want to send it to. So it is very simple, and the same way this thing also work, the desktop also work. That's the same way the online version also work. And you're going to agree with me that this also has some kind of the same visual. You can also interact, just that some of the options here is different from the one that is there. And let's say I want to um okay, for all this one we are going to explain better when we are looking at how to publish our file to online service. And like I said, we also have mobile layout. Just like we have desktop layout here, we also have mobile layout. So I may decide to wanting to view my what's it called, my this thing on the global layout. Let me see if I have one of my dashboard that I did with mobile layout, so I can see. So like I said initially that we always have three um I think three this thing that we work with, three visuals, three layouts in Power BI. So we have the mobile layout, we have the desktop layout for the and we also have online service too. So I can switch to my mobile layout. So this is my mobile layout now, and it's almost the same thing. And for my mobile, I can select my year. So I can select 2014 instead of 2015. So everything will just change, like just the way it's going to change in the desktop. Everything will change. So this is for mobile layout. So how to do all these things are things that we are going to be looking at one by one, and that's the essence of today's class. So it's something that is very essential, very very essential, and how to also create your portfolio after knowing how to create your, what's it called, your profile, your visuals. How do you create your portfolio? Which this thing do you use? So, and but for instance, let's say I want to view this particular visual here. Let me say I want to view this. I just click on it and it's going to be embedded, just like the way I'm going to view it on my Power BI desktop and this thing. But I should click on this as well too. I'll be able to view my this thing in details. So you can see it is showing already that this is Power BI this thing. So it's going to load anyway. So, and that's how to just send your, I can just share this particular link to any, maybe my prospective um, um, client or something, just for them to, so they can interact with it. So I can click on next, it's going to next. So it's going to take me to the next page, just like I'm going to do for the way we are doing for the other this thing too. So these are some of the things that we can always do with Power BI. So Power BI is not just about visuals. There are many, many things that surround it. And we have to be very careful on the things that we really need to put in place. So so that's how it works, like basically. That's how it works basically. So, and like I said, there's no how you are going to say you are a Power BI this thing. You can't just use word of mouth and say, I know it and I can do it. If you can do it, you have to provide evidence to what you can do. There's not any prospective client or organization that want to employ you that will now be basing your employment on your, not like on what you are saying. They want to see what you've done. And that's why it's always good to have a portfolio. And like I said, certificate is not really what is going to determine if you know all these things. You have to have your project at hand. So, and if you are starting with Power BI, there are ways to get data sets. So, how do you get data sets to work with, and all those things? So, these are the things that we are going to be looking at henceforth. So, also we have what they call Power Query. So, these are Power Query. For instance, I think I've mentioned all this before. So, this is for the queries pane, this is settings pane, and all those things. Now, let me try to show us the advanced query editor, for instance. So this advanced editor, each of all these things that you are seeing here, I created them like from scratch. So how do you work with your M language? How do you code your query? At some point, there may be need for you to try as much as possible to create your own code from start. Although as you are doing anything, Power BI is going to help you, or Power Query Editor is going to help you to create all those things itself. But at some point, there may be a need for you to create your own things. So how do you do these things? How do you work on them? So it's part of things that we aim to look into. And that's why you have Power Query. So transforming columns, merging and appending column, advanced query editor. And also we have what they call Power Pivot. In fact, I would have even suggest that we did Power Pivot before we start working with Power BI. For instance, now this is a Power Pivot in Excel. More or less like the way Power BI works. So if I just click on, let's say these slides are here, look at everything. Everything is going to change accordingly. Even this Power Pivot chart is going to change. So you can click on North. Everything is going to change. And I also have a chart here too. So everything is going to change accordingly. And this is just Power Pivot. This is just by working with Power Pivot. So furniture too, I can also have like a timeline. So this is like a timeline. I can select January, can select any month that I want, can select January to May, and so that's how they work anyway. So just play around. So this is just Power Pivot chart, and everything is going to change. Even your power, everything is going to change accordingly. And this is what they call Power Pivot itself. So this is what I use this particular editor here to edit everything that we are seeing in this particular visual, and everything is under Excel. It's not like it is in part of Excel. It's not like maybe it's another app in that. It's not another app. It's just like the way we have Power Query editor in Power BI. So this Power Pivot too is just like an add-in or an extension of Power of Excel. So you can see we also have measures, just like we have for Power BI. You can see some X that I taught you. So some X, the unit sold times unit price, and all those things. So the sum of units sold, the margin amount, all these things are things that we are going to be looking at. These are measures, different measures. So these are all these things are also in Power BI. But in Power BI, we call them DAX measures. DAX measures. So how do you do this thing? And that's why we have the advanced DAX. So changing context, time intelligence, intuitive measure, aggregate measure, all these things are things that we're going to be looking at one by one. And we have the sales per day. Okay, headline. For instance, now this is like a time intelligence measure. So how do you calculate year to date, year on year growth, and all these things? So this is Power BI, and just like we have for Power BI too, in Power Pivot, we also have a diagram view. So you can connect your tables all together. This is the sales fact table, this is the dimension. So this is another visual here. So this is another visual you can see. So this particular visuals too, you can also slice by state, by categories. Everything is going to be changing as you are selecting them. Everything is going to be changing. And we have our KPI. Anything less than anything that is negative will be red, and if it is above positive, this thing is going to be green. So that's how it works generally. And we also have our timeline. You can select your timeline, your date, and everything. And all of them are going to respond according to the way it is showing here. So, and each of them has their own, they have their own Power Pivot window that we use to manage this thing. So, that's basically Power Pivot. So I've explained PowerQuery. I've walked you through how to do PowerQuery, Power Pivot, and the advanced tags. I'm publishing your file and themes in Power BI and Bookmarks. So, but one thing is that um, everything that we've said all around, right from day one to day seven, we did something that is basic, and we are now trying to move to something that is more or less like to make you a very good expert in Power BI. So everything you said is actually not free, and it actually comes with a price. So because this is not something that you are going to get out there, and people will see the way you are doing, and they will not accolade your knowledge. So that said, this is not a free section. It's actually a paid section, and more or less like this is just to filter people that are really willing to learn more about Power BI, and they also want to be a Power BI expert. So the day one to day seven, like I said, is just basic and it has been offered for free. Although you may but I will just advise that it's not a good thing. That in fact I will say informally that if you are only working on you're going to base yourself on day one to day seven class alone, please don't. I will even say you should not use my name to say, okay, I was the one that teach you day one. So because I know that many of us will be like, I've learned and I know about Power BI already, and you don't know anything. That's just the fact. What you've learned is just something that any other person can also learn. It's not something that is spectacular. So because if you cannot clean up your data very well, you cannot work with PowerQuery editor, you can't work with Power Pivot, you can't do all those editing and everything. So and you can't bookmark, you can't share your file. So you cannot create a portfolio for yourself. You cannot work with him, you can work with advanced DAX. All these things are just normal, like things that like it's expected of you as a Power BI expert. And there are some interview questions that they are going to ask you. How do you answer them? How do you even showcase your knowledge? So that is it's not a free section. It's something that has to be paid for. And also you can see now in this particular table we have something like top 50 products by sales. We have this particular format in here, which shows that anyone that is positive will be green, anyone that is negative will be red. So how do you do all these things? These are things that we are going to be looking at one by one. And we are going to be using this particular visual and this other visual also, this one as explanation. So this is more robust than what we've been doing in day one to day seven, and this is more even elegant and explanatory and more detailed. And here also we are going to be working with many visuals. One of them is waterfall, ribbon chart, um, funnel charts, Gantt charts, and many other visuals. There are plenty of them. And how do you even import many visuals like sunburst, the composition tree, and many other visuals that you want to import? How do you do them online and everything? How do you work with your mobile layout? How do you work with your online service and everything? And how do you sign in? You can never, there's no way you want to publish online without you signing in. You should notice I also have my name here. So that means that I'm part of the Microsoft this thing. You don't need to pay for signing in. There's a way to do it. And those are the things that we're going to be looking at. So how do you sign in? Because if you're not even signing, you cannot get, you are going to be restricted to just little visuals. There are plenty visuals. In fact, at some point, there are many visuals in Power BI that you don't need to stress yourself. I can just tell Power BI that I want you to help me to create a visual for sales by category. And just within 1 second, Power BI is going to create that chart for me. My own is just to edit. But to create the visual, I'll just type, I create sales by category. And as I'm typing like this, Power BI is going to deduct using its own intelligence to know the kind of visual that's going to fit what I'm saying and all those things. So there are many visuals to play with. There are many, many of them like that. So these are one of the things I'm going to be looking at one by one. And this is one of the reasons why I make this class the end of the class. So that said, we like, because I know many people may also want some reservation and questions around everything I've said. So if you have any question on the what we've done so far and way forward as well, to like if you want to ask any question based on what I said just now. So I think we still have some minutes. So I would like to take in questions. Yeah, hello. Hello. Hello, are we all there?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We are.
Oh, sorry. All right. Good. Okay, you can ask. Hello, you said you have a question.
The first thing is I would like to appreciate Advice for basically I need to target the ability for network and knowledge. And I would like to ask the class for the class to continue to advance class, how much will it be?
Well, I've actually looked into it. Please mute your mic. So I've actually looked into it, and I understand that Nigeria is not like everyone is facing one thing or the other, and things are not really going all right. But ordinarily, on average, if you want to learn Power BI, at least you start with 50,000 naira, 100,000 naira. Like basically, if you want to learn, in fact, what we learn in day 1 to day 7, just want someone to be, always there for you like that. You can ask questions anytime. At least 50,000 to 100,000 naira. But of course, we are not going to be paying that. So individually, the amount is just 10,000 naira, and I've looked into it like just to be more what's it called, more considerate. So the advanced class is just 10,000 naira. I believe that regardless, in fact, well, data analysis is something that is like growing a lot. So, and I can talk with this, I'm talking from experience. So I believe many of you can see this is my SQL. So there are many things to learn, anyways, that I may even try to introduce you guys to. So like in the advanced class. So how do you get data from SQL? How do you do all those things? So there are many things like that. So but it's just 10,000 naira for the whole class, and it's after many constitution are put into place. So if you are interested, you can just message me on my WhatsApp and just say you are interested, and I'm going to add it to the group of the advanced class. So I believe I answered your question. Does anybody also have a question?
Honestly, I really enjoyed this class a lot. So I'll look into it. I would like to join the class.
Oh, okay, good. All right, please message me on WhatsApp once we end this call so I can attend to you. So, does any other person also have any question regarding probably what we've done so far, or maybe you are still confused on Power BI, and if you even want us to start from the beginning in the advanced class, so you can just raise your opinion.
Sorry, I have a question.
Okay.
Cluster column chart is not that easy. Can you just step into the habit?
Can we just
Can you go ahead to the map with the cluster column chart?
sorry, I did not get your question. Can you please type it on the chat? You have some background noise. All right. Does any other person also have a question regarding what we've done so far? Way forward. All right. The cluster column chart that we did was just the cluster column chart that we did, which is this one. So just click on your canvas anytime you want to create a chart. So just go to just hover around all this thing that is here, all the chart that is here. You are going to see something like cluster column chart. So click on the cluster column chart. So what we did was sales by category. Sorry, sales by product and year. So let's say I click on the cluster column chart. So once you click on it, you can select your sales and by product and year. And our year is legend. So just click on it, but we don't want the year to be on the x-axis. Sorry, on the y-axis. We want it to be on our legend here. So just shift it to the legend, and it's going to split the products by the year. So just like that, you can see. So these are cluster column charts. So start by clicking on your cluster column chart. Select your sales, your products, and the year from the day dimension. That means that your day dimension must be connected with your office supply before you can do that. So and once you select those three columns, the year is going to be placed under the y-axis, but we don't want it to be under the y-axis, so we just shift it to the legend. So the legend makes it to split into product and it's going to split the product into 2 years, like 2014 and 2015. So that's how to do that. I don't know, do I answer your question that way? Hello, do I answer your question? All right, that's good. So, in the absence of other questions, the time is already going already. So, if you cannot ask a question now, you can always message me on WhatsApp to ask any question. So that said, I really appreciate you guys for joining my class from day 1 to day 7, and I also hope that you're going to commit yourself for this advanced class, because that will actually be the best. And see you guys in the advanced class, and I wish us the best. Take care. Bye.